you can understand that, people just do dumb stuff when they're young, they're immature. But as adults, we have to stop being so immature. We have to stop being toddler-esque or middle school-ish and these different things like that. So no, I'm pretty sure that there are a number of co-wives that do that. My co-wife and I, we do not. It's petty, it's garbage, and it's not mature. And it's very immature.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace. It's your Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. All right, so in this video, I am going to answer some weird, maybe embarrassing, some maybe crazy polygyny questions, and some serious ones too, that have been sent. There's about 10 of them here. So I'm going to do another video because it's some word questions. Like, we get so many different questions. Some of them are similar in nature, and we do different videos on those, but I just wanted to do a Q&A or just answering some questions. Okay, so one question that we got, which is an interesting one, weird one to me, is that do co-wives ever fight over the husband like the TV shows or movies? And it's really interesting because we don't, but I'm not going to be one to say that they don't, it's not like Housewives of whatever place that they're at, or Basketball Wives, or certain things like that. That's just a lot of drama. That's too much drama for me. A number of these questions I'm going to answer, if not all of these questions, I'm going to answer from my viewpoint, from my standpoint, but I'm also going to answer from things that I've experienced, things that I've heard, maybe from other clients' perspectives and things as far as that. So just letting you guys know. So do co-wives ever fight? We don't do that. We are very respectful of one another and our positions as wives. My co-wife, Coach Fatimah, and I, we don't do that. Other wives, they probably do, just because, just maturity level. If you're really mature, you're not going to deal with the drama like that. If you're immature, you're going to deal with immaturity. You're going to be immature. That's what it is. Second question, is it awkward having to schedule intimacy in a polygynous marriage? That is a good question, and we hear that a lot. Not as nice as this one was put, but we have different homes. Coach Fatimah lives in a different home. I live in a different home, and Coach Nazir shares the homes with the both of us. And pretty much they're his homes, type of thing. So, and he transitions every 24 hours for the most part. So when it comes to intimacy in marriage, married people should do what married people do. I wouldn't pretend like it's not done any way, shape, or form of anywhere else. And that goes with whether it's cuddling, whether it's enjoying each other, having a romantic dinner, any of those things like that. But the good thing is when you have your own home, where you're not sharing a home with a co-wife, it's easier because you can schedule out those times, or you have those times to yourself when you're with your husband in your home, when it's your time, when it's your day. And when I say it's your time, we're married to our husbands 100% of the time, but we spend the time with him when we are spending the time with him. And even when he's scheduled at the house with the other, that doesn't mean, with me or my co-wife, that doesn't mean that he's there 100% of the time. He has other things to do. He has a life outside of just googly-eyed, looking at his wives all day. I'm just saying. So, but the easy thing is that when we are together we do our things when we're together, and it's good to have that separate household for us in order to be able to do that without any interference for the most part. Another thing though, if you do it different and you share a home and you have, your co-wife and you share a home with your husband, put in the comments, what do you actually do? This is a conversation too. I'm just answering it in my way, but definitely put in the comments, how do you schedule intimacy or schedule these beautiful moments? I would think, as a coach, I would think that even if you're living under the same roof, that you should have special times allotted for yourselves, that you're not always together or there's no clarity in who's spending their personal time with their husband. I'm just saying. That's just me. That's my 2 cents. The next one, how do you handle jealousy when your co-wife is more attractive than you? As fine as I am. No, the thing is this, I think that's more of a mental state of looking at things in that shape or form. Was like, okay, this person is more attractive, I don't think my co-wife, and I'm pretty sure my co-wife and I, we don't do that with one another. We don't look at each other and be like, okay, well, she, looks this way and is, she's more attractive than me, or, I'm less attractive. Like, we don't do that. Even though my co-wife is beautiful. So, I also believe that attractiveness is in, the way you carry yourself and what you do, and your emotional intelligence and all these different things. These are things that attract you. So, to the other person, that makes you do things that make you attractive. It's not always about the physical. And sometimes people see things differently. Like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some person may think one person is attractive and the other person is not as attractive. And they could be, Beyonce or, or all these other beautiful people out there, supermodels and everything like that, Lupita or whoever floats your boat is a beautiful person, and they say, no, that's not, that's not beautiful to me, or that's not attractive to me, or this person is too skinny, or this person is too big, or, they're too loud, so because of that, because it's relative, we don't get into that. And I think it's important that women don't do that women don't get into that, well, who's more attractive, or who do you think is more attractive? Because that can change at any given moment and it's relative. So we don't play around with that. We don't do that because it breeds insecurities, for one, and it, like I said, is relative. Let's see. What do you do if your husband plays favorites with one wife? Practice courageous communication and state how you feel about it. It may not always be what it is or what you think it is. It may not be that he's playing favorites. Here's the thing with us. Coach Nazir doesn't do the same things with each other, with me that he does with Coach Fatimah, and vice versa. And I think many husbands, they don't do that. I know people have this weird thing in their mind that because you're in polygyny, that you do the same things and the husband give you the same things and he does the same things at the same time. And it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So how would you even know he's playing favorites? If you're feeling a certain way, talk about it. Let him know, but let him know in a way where it's not where you are accusing him of playing favorites, that you're being accusatory. Have that conversation where it's like, well, you know what, I'm feeling this way, can you give me some clarity or something like that? And that comes with courageous communication and being mature and being grown, being adults. So being able to communicate about it is important. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen out there, but how do you know if the person is playing favorites or not? Or is it something that you're thinking because something was done at a time that you may end up getting it later, like whether it's a gift or whether it's, some time spent or a dinner or something along the lines of that. You don't know. Things happen at different moments and different times, if that makes any sense. Okay, so the next one. Do the co-wives, these are some good questions. I like these questions. Let me know in the comments if these are some good questions. If you guys have some more, put some more questions in the comments, because I want to do more of these Q&As, or these question and answer sessions. I guess that is a Q&A, right? We Coach Nyla. Okay, anyway, then I would like to also do one with my co-wife, just throw some of those out there, and probably do some with Coach Nazir. So ask some questions, put some questions down below. Okay, so here's the one. Do co-wives ever gossip about each other behind each other's backs? Okay, so there might be, and I've heard people talk about others. I don't sign up for that class. I don't play that game. I feel like gossiping is garbage. And when people gossip, is that they don't have anything better to do, that they don't have, they feel a way about themselves. So it's good to just gossip about people or put them down. And I don't like that. I've never been really part of the mean girl clique, but I've done some mean things when I was a kid, to people. And when it was done to me, it didn't feel good. So I remember that and I stopped doing that. But when you're young, you can understand that, people just do dumb stuff when they're young, they're immature. But as adults, we have to stop being so immature. We have to stop being toddler-esque or middle school-ish and these different things like that. So no, I'm pretty sure that there are a number of co-wives that do that. My co-wife and I, we do not. It's petty, it's garbage, and it's not mature. And it's very immature. Okay, the next one is it true that co-wives can feel competitive when it comes to things like cooking or housework? I'm going to say yes. For me, I'm going to definitely say yes. Not anymore, but before, when I was, new into polygyny, not that it was a competition, so to speak, but I felt insecure about the things because I was new to it. And not only was I new to it, because certain people like their things a certain way. So Coach Nazir can have a certain feel about certain things that I wasn't sure that I would be giving, or I would be providing. So it's those type of things. And he maybe used to a particular way that his house would look, that he shares with Coach Fatimah, and it may not look the same with me, or to certain foods that he would eat, so those type of things. And he's known that for so long. So that just comes with learning and growing and being more secure in the things that you provide and the things that you do, and being okay that it's just different. Like my co-wife is a professional decorator, and we have different styles. She has a very beautiful style in how she decorates, and I'm very eclectic when it comes to the way I decorate, but I really like cozy comfort. And it was, for me in my mind, not competitiveness, but comparison. And I was like, oh, well, I don't do it like that, or it's not as intricate as she would do it, and different things like that. But I'm like, I'm actually comfortable in how I decorate and how I put my house together and the foods that I cook. And I'm very creative when it comes to being in the kitchen. I love to cook. So sometimes my family are my guinea pigs when it comes to things that I may make. And even though I have things that slap, some things may fall flat. So I'm just saying. And that's just, being true to who I am and just loving what I do. So that competitiveness sometimes can be the thief of joy when you are, comparing yourself to who's doing what better. If the person does it better and you don't want to do it, or you want to learn to do it better, then give them that. Give them their props and let them have it. It's not that serious, not that deep, like my kids say. Okay, the next one. Does the husband ever accidentally call you by your co-wife's name? He's done it before. He's done it. It is not common, but he's done it before on a number of occasions. He's done it in videos before, where he'll point to one and say the other one's name. I've called myself my co-wife's name before in a video. She did it before, so when you just have a lot of people around and a lot of names, it's bound to happen. I don't think that is anything malicious or crazy about it. It happens. I've called my children so many times. I call my children the other one's name and the wrong names, and they chalk it up. They like, no, Omi, this is I'm this person. But I usually catch myself. But the other name already came out my mouth, so it doesn't matter. They don't trip on that. They don't think that I'm, favoring the other one just because of that, or I'm thinking about that one more. It's just a slip of the tongue, and that's what happens. To me, again, it's not that deep. When you have a lot of people, a lot of names that you're calling on a day-to-day basis, you tend to call somebody the wrong name. Is what it is. We pretty much have a good laugh, or we, like, oh, if it goes on where he didn't realize he did it, like, no, you said Nyla or Fatimah or something on the lines of that, but it's not that deep, it's not that serious, because we know who you're talking to and we know who you're talking about. It's what it is. And it's not very common. Is it uncomfortable for the children if the co-wives don't get along? Of course, it's uncomfortable for anybody when people don't get along. If you're in a house or you're somewhere at a function and people are not getting along, how awkward is that? How much tension is in the room, with that? So heck yeah, it's uncomfortable and awkward, when for the kids. That's why it's important to be cordial at least. You don't have to be besties, you don't have to be, chummies, but you should be cordial, even if it's for the sake of the children, and it's actually for the sake of your sanity. Unless you're just a mean person or just a person that just like to be mad all the time, why is it okay to just hate somebody or just not get along with someone? That's beyond me. So if you don't get along, just at least be cordial and keep it pushing. You don't have to be in each other's presence all the time and 24/7 and be chummy. Just be cordial at least. The next one, we got 2 more left. The next one is, what is the most awkward gift your husband has ever bought for you and your co-wife together? Well, that's not something that's common. However, Coach Nyla has actually gotten a number of things for my co-wife and I together. One, I remember it was an air fryer, and I didn't think it was awkward at all. We didn't think we actually have a video somewhere because he got it for Eid, for our Eid gifts. One of our Eid gifts, he got us both air fryer, and we opened it up together and we laughed about it, and it was really good because it benefits the whole family. It's one for each household. So it wasn't a personal gift. It was pretty much a gift that he knew that we would use more than anybody else for the most part. And that wasn't awkward at all. Another thing is, you may see on the videos, we have this ring. This is an Aura ring. And not that I'm being sponsored, we've been sponsored by it, but it'd be nice, Aura. But it's the Aura ring. And we both have an Aura ring. This is for health reasons and health purposes and everything like that. So the care and concern that goes into the gifts that he gives, especially if he gives them together, it's the same thing together, is really, it's important, and it's good, and it's respected, and it's appreciated. So it's not an awkwardness at all. And as I stated before, I'm speaking from, my standpoint and everything like that. Maybe it is to other co-wives or other wives. One thing that was brought to my attention, like a while ago, years ago, if I'm not mistaken, he did get us a card that was the same. And it didn't bother me much because I know that the card was it has this little blurb in it. And then when he does cards or when he does gifts and different things like that, he put his own personal note, his own personal spin, his own personal touch in these things. So even if the card was the same on the outside and with the little blurb that is commercial on the inside, he still has his own personal touch. And that's appreciated. So like I said, it's not that deep. I think when I go into there's so many things that it's like, it's not that serious. I care about my sanity. I care about fulfillment in my marriage and my relationship. So I don't, overthink. I try not to, because there's times that I slip up too. But for the most part, for my sanity and for my health and my wellness, I look at the good in it, and I trust that he has a brain that, that functions very well, that he's not going to, and that he's not, a person that's malicious and do things to cause strife and drama and issues within his family dynamic. Hopefully I can say that with others, and hopefully others can get that information from this video, even though it's, a fun Q&A. Last one, do co-wives ever team up against the husband if they're upset with him? My co-wife and I don't. We have our, our jokes and our inside things that we do. But he knows that, because these are things that we tease him about. But we don't, when we're upset with him, we deal with the problem directly with him, and that's very rare. That's a rare thing of being upset with him. That's a personal thing. If it's something that he's, he may have, and see, I have to think about something. I have to try to bring up a scenario or find a scenario, which is not easy, because if anything, it's not something that is like, oh, I'm so mad, we're so mad at him, let's gang up on him. I never liked that, even as a kid, when people got ganged up on. Or, I feel it's not fair. And the person is like, they're only one person and they have to defend themselves against multiple people. And if you care about somebody, you love someone, that shouldn't be something that you want for them, that you want to do to them. So, like I said, if we do anything, it's all in fun, and we're probably just poking jokes and everything like that. But if it's something that's serious, and that is, if it's something that's serious and we need to talk about it, we'll have that conversation. We'll schedule that conversation and practice courageous communication. Other than that, have fun with your life, and, and little quirks and things like that, and keep it pushing. It's life is short. This life is short. Think about, have some mortality motivation, and realize that, we're going to eventually die, and do we want the last words that we say to our spouse is something that's negative or hurtful, or that we were just upset with them over something that could have been overlooked or that could have been fixed. So anyway, hope you guys got some good information from this, and I hope you guys had some fun with these Q&As. These were really, really good, or with this Q&A. These were some really good questions. And if you made it this far, congratulations. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, because sharing is caring. If you guys haven't, make sure you join us in our polygamy community, where we have a number of these different things. We have Q&As. I do Friday funnies. There are some lives that go on from time to time. So, and you have the like-mindedness of the community that helps out with question and answers and all this other good stuff. So check it out if you haven't. Go to polygamycommunity.com and sign up if you haven't signed up yet, if you're not a part of it. Until next time, make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. It's your coach, Coach Nyla. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.